G'day YouTubers, and thank you for tuning into today's video on YouTube. You initially thought I wasn't going to be doing one of those outdoor gardening tour around videos. The first things I want to straightforward show to you is, yes, do you remember I spoke to you in the previous video about those plants there that were actually right there? Obviously I'm just playing with the brightness, that's why. Remember those bulb plant-like things? They've now been sprouted. Actually, a few of them have blossomed them outside just now, and look what they've become. Spanish bluebells. How cute they are. But they're not as straightforward, let's just say glamorous, as those English bluebells, which in my opinion they look small, but they're actually quite, fairly fancy. It's actually nice to see a bit of Spanish bluebell blossoming outside here. In fact, we can actually see quite a row some right here. Just half of them are blooming, but not the rest. So I'm gonna have to wait for basically another week's time to actually see them bluebells actually blossoming for the first time. Amazing. Apart from the bluebells, we've also seen, is that an English bluebell? No, that's a Spanish one right here. It's another bluebell. Right there, we've got clusters of dandelions blossoming. This foxglove here, unfortunately, I don't know what to really say. There hasn't been any blossoming activity, probably because them plants haven't really been straightforward doing so well, because, well, it's been quite cramped so far for them flowers and all. I'm gonna have to straightforward turn off the brightness because it's getting a little bit annoying. What is that, like wild mustard or something? I can't really tell what plant this is. Dandelions. Okay, and most importantly, I actually planted some cornflower. Actually, it's cornflower, not flour, as in the ingredient. And I can hear a seagull. That's pretty unusual, hearing herringulls squawking. Probably because they're just straightforward flying away. And there's actually quite a few of them. There you go. There's actually 3 herringulls just flying away. Enough of the seagull talk. Anyways, apart from the cornflower section right here, which I think it deserves a lot much more protection, because those flowers are straightforward waiting for summer as they're straightforward germinating. I've got some more bird food right here. There's even more of that as well. None of the bird food has been successfully touched, but most importantly, I want to take a look at the plants. I think what just recently happened, unfortunately, the tomato plants have unfortunately failed so far. I wonder why. I don't know why they have failed. But we've got a bit of success with the nasturtium seeds. Hopefully I want to try and take out one of these. I want to try and have a bit of a closer look. I can see one of the nasturtiums that has actually started to germinate. In fact, one more about germinating the nasturtium seeds is that, hey, I think the best rule number 1 factor behind germinating them seeds is, I think what's probably best is that while these seeds start to germinate, I think for me, hey, might as well just straightforward cover and burrow this already germinated seed. There's a lot of siren activity outside, and oh man, there's more seagulls? No kidding. Oh, I wonder what's going on here. Seagulls are taking over the whole video. Oh man, lot of noisy seagulls today. Wonder what's going on with the seagulls outside. Looks like they're just straightforward squawking for their reuniting. Oh my goodness me. They're just squawking over their reunion. All them seagulls are pretty noisy when they just fly back to their little roosting sites. Pretty obvious somehow. Well, apart from the seagulls, which in a sense they're just squawking like mad, I can just hear them. Somehow I can still hear them. Right, okay, with the seagulls gone, right, so we've got nasturtium, one of the flowers here, one of the seeds have, unfortunately, I don't know what to really say, because look at the seagulls, they are just straightforward taking over the whole video. What is going on? It's not funny. Okay, obviously them seagulls are just straightforward Yeah, I tell you what, they're already taking over the whole video. I mean, it's nice to watch them birds, but hey. Bloody hell. Right, we've got a compost bag right behind me. I feel like I need to go and get more bags of compost because I've got no more of these things. Maybe I feel like I haven't got that much fresh compost yet, and there's a pigeon flying outside. At least this thing's quiet. Okay, with the seagulls gone. Right, so where did we left off to? We've got nasturtium flowers, which are just, well, the seedlings have germinated. Only one, or possibly two of them have successfully germinated, which I can't quite recall, but I'm sort of thinking maybe I might have to take them inside because I think what we're going to be experiencing is that the temperatures are not going to be very good from next week, because I do know that there's going to be rain, possibly snow, so I might have to probably put all of them plants back inside and that sort of stuff. But on the other hand, so far, we've seen some very successful germination going on here. I mean, not so much for the nasturtium, which I mean, I can only just see one or two successful germinations, which, in a sense, like this one right here, I don't know what to really say. Has this thing broken off? I can't really tell. But apart from the nasturtiums, I'm also seeing like cosmos flowers. They're nicely germinating. So in that sense, hey, you know, I might as well just have to give it for a bit of period, a bit of time for them, you know, them seedlings starting to germinate. And once they start to germinate, hey, you know, that should somehow be quite great. Yeah, I tell you what, this is just somehow fantastic. Right, apart from the cosmos and the nasturtiums, I have got another batch of nasturtium seeds to basically sow. And there has been some recent transplantations. This patch of meadow, of course, I did transplant some meadow plants and that sort of stuff into different areas so that, you know, I just wanted to make sure that the rest of my whole garden has got a bit of space. That there used to be where the Eriguium flower was. That there used to be where the calendula flower was. Oh, pardon me for that one, hey? But let me just go ahead and corner around for some closer scrutiny. That wild cabbage plant, we've got some new flowers in that extra plant, so that's actually fairly nice. Somehow I might have to do some extra pruning, and actually I can see the wild cabbage. It's actually somehow starting to show signs that it's actually continuing to perform quite well. And while performing quite well, I do know there's that one bit here. I don't know why is this bit broken off. I can't really tell why is this thing sort of like, you know, I'm actually sort of thinking this bit here is nicely surviving, but this part of the plant is not doing great. It looks like, hey, you know, we'll just let some of these bits rot to death, whereas with it, we can actually see some new shoots. It looks like by summertime we will start to see a massive explosion of what looks like to be wild cabbage flowers starting to blossom outside. I had this thing for basically like 2 years. Oh, pardon me. Sorry, I've just farted. Right. And apparently I can actually see, is that like a dead bird? I'm probably guessing, what's with those bird feeders? I'm probably guessing there was a bird of prey that has attacked mainly sparrowhawk that has unfortunately decided to kill a pigeon. Pretty gruesome somehow when you think about it, but hey, you know, that's nature, isn't it? Okay, let's not go there. So we've also got some more meadow flower seedlings that have sort of germinated, but I don't think they have. Maybe I might have to give them another water down just to see how much they're going to grow. Okay, so we've got lots of plant, but there's a lot of stuffing around. There's also them pepper seeds, which I don't think they've actually, well, there were a few germinations. I did try to plant some regular pepper seeds, but most of them were failures. I don't know why. Maybe it's because they really don't like this type of climate. And the tomatoes, they've actually failed so badly. It's quite somehow real bad somehow. We've got a screaming kid on the background, which we don't want to think about. Right, so in the midst of my garden, not too bad so far. We've got these weird looking white flower seed things. I've got no idea what these things are, because I'm not a really great plantologist, if that's the word. And apart from seeing, oh my goodness me, there's more dandelions here. I'm also just trying to make sure that there's no stinging nettles as well here too. Of course, it is of course spring, And as we come closer towards summertime, everything will start to grow and get big. And I tell you what, seeing all them flowers is a good thing. And maybe if we can just straightforward leave them foxgloves, and maybe I can get rid of this yellow flower here, which I don't know if it somehow has the ability. Maybe I can just straightforward get rid of that thing, or even transplant this plant into a different aisle. Because maybe this system here, I don't know what to really say here. Maybe this plant here doesn't really need that home. Can't see the well, maybe I just took it off by strange enough. I did it on purpose. That's what I did. Sorry about that, but oh well, maybe that's the way it is. Oops, sorry, I've just killed that plant. That was not really necessary, but hey, who knows? I can give it a bit of plantology lessons on that. How about that, hey? Or maybe I can just transplant this thing and give it a nice good amount of watering. Oh, I think this one is dead. Oh, looks like this one is dying so badly. Oh man, what have I done wrong here? Maybe if I just transplant this plant and get it back into life, maybe it will straightforward, oh, no, doesn't want to do it. Rest in peace to that awesome yellow flower batch. But good news is, I'm actually seeing more of them white flower things. I don't know what that plant is. It seems like I've got a lot of extra flowers starting to blossom. And I do know that as we are starting to approach summertime, as we go up towards the second half of, of springtime, which is of course April, I'm also starting to see what looks like to be, I don't know what I'm seeing here, but I'm also seeing like extra like bits of shrubbery that are also starting to see. And also look at the buds on that old abandoned tree, which it's amazing on how they can just straightforward shoot up some amazing stuff, even when things don't always seem to go that well. That tree there, that has actually straightforward to, how would you say it? That tree has actually done so well, creating new leaves and stuff. That is fantastic. Is that a sycamore? Maybe I might be totally wrong. It's quite a chilly night, because I do know that we are going to be having some, rain later on. Limey owl. Anyways, I'm just going to straightforward go down a bit. By the looks of it, I'll leave the bird food as it is. And strange enough, maybe one thing I could have done, well, I've already got so much bird food. Maybe if I put this tub into the rest of the other bird food tubs that I've got, maybe put that there, and also probably the other one I've got. I don't know how much I'm going to deal with, but hey, that's the thing. I'm just making sure that everything is okay. So I'm just going to put the bird food like so that the birds can enjoy a bit of food when the weather turns a bit cold and whatnot. But anyways, I'm just going to straightforward head back, because that is our garden tour. There's some more extra weeds here. There's also, I can hear a crow in the background. There's actually so much stuff here. I did leave out some of these, what do you call them? Are these like extra plants, weeds? I don't know. It feels like we've somehow got an extra growth of various plants. It seems like we're getting masses and masses of plants. I tell you what, it's shocking. It's also quite scary seeing that somehow there's just a huge number of growth and greenery, which is just so fantastic to see. And on the background, do you know what these are? These, what are called cherry blossoms, sakura, Japanese cherries, as I like to call them. Beautiful things. And then we've also got some extra growths of all kinds of different plant appendages on those hedgerows and things. Of course, yes, I feel like I need to straightforward get rid of these nasty thorny bits here, poking out, sticking out. I feel like I need to straightforward call the landlords so that they can get rid of them spiky things, and also cut down this massive grass, because obviously, even though it's been so tall, and in fact it hasn't been done for basically a long period of time, I feel like it needs to be done. By the time when the landlords come, I'll just straightforward tell them not to straightforward mow right here, because that's where my cornflowers are. And yeah, that should straightforward be a very nice plan from at this point here, eh? Because hey, clearly this will be a very great time to see all sorts of different plants and flowers straightforward cleared off at this point. So this will be amazing. Who knows? I might as well straightforward think about digging out all of that soil. That'd be great, hey? Anyways, I shall leave this video here. If you really enjoyed this pretty amazing garden tour of all the plants that are the side of the plant, but also on some of the other plants, like other flowers like them bluebells. They've actually been doing so well. Amazing, isn't it? There's just so many different things that I can really straightforward be immersed with. Anyways, if you really enjoyed this video, please give this video a like, subscribe more for that, videos in the future. And it's a toy reviews, didn't I? As always, thanks so much for watching, and bye for now.